What's going on YouTube? I know it's been a while since I've made a video. This is going to be a Minecraft video. My friend and I recently started a new server and we've been playing on it for about a week now. And we came up with a very neat idea recently. We just started a Feed the Beast server. This is a Direwolf 20. But what I'm about to show you will also work on the ultimate version of Feed the Beast. And also Minecraft and one other, I don't remember the name of the other one. So this is same server but local host, and this is the one I play on, and then the other one's for testing connection. So basically what we've done here is I'm first going to show you around and then explain it in a creative world. We've created a, ooh, there's a spider. We've created a way to basically have a diamond farm, a legitimate diamond farm in a legitimate survival Minecraft world. And this uses the soul shard method, and I don't think this has ever been done before actually, so this is going to be pretty cool. So this is my work in progress. This is a mob farm. This has, we're in the process of adding every single possible kind of mob that you would ever need supplies from here. We have switches for Endermen, creepers, skeletons, zombie pigmen, and blaze over here. This is a water switch to turn on and off the water. I'm going to turn the pigmen off right now. And then I've just started expanding this side over here, and started with sheep. So we're going to do all the non-hostile mobs over here, so like cows, pigs, that kind of stuff. And basically I'm going to show you how this works in a minute and talk to you about what our idea is, and probably make a little bit of a mini-series on this kind of world. So our goal for this project is to make a world that has a city in it that's completely made out of diamond blocks. And I don't think this has ever been done before in creative, well, in survival. And we're going to do this probably pretty fast, and I'm going to document it all and post it here in the series so that you see that it's actually real progress and not fake creative block placing. So first I'm going to show you how to do this, because I think it could be a very, very viable method to pretty much make your own diamond farm in your world. So diamond. Set this to creative, and I'm going to do super flat, and I'm going to make it, I don't know, let's make it 22. I just clicked that there to check to see what the height was. I couldn't remember the placing of the numbers. Alright, create new world. So I'm going to probably take you through the setting up of this for the first episode, like the materials that you'll need, and then in the next episode I'll show you how to actually build it, and a lot of important tips and tricks that I learned along the way. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump right in here with the things that you'll need. So first of all, you'll need to get soul shards, and these can be just searched on the Feed the Beast wiki to figure out how to make them. You need some corrupted dust, I think it's called, and you put them in this soul forge, and in 10 minutes it will make 3 shards. You have to put a diamond in, which is not actually that big of a deal for the method that I'm going to be showing you. So basically what you do is you get 3 shards, and you just need a sword. And so to start off, what you'll need is a nether portal. So to make a nether portal, you'll need obsidian. And let's see, that's the right obsidian. This mod has so many new blocks and stuff that, and they look so similar that it's kind of difficult sometimes to tell which ones are which. Okay, so once you've made your nether portal, you need a flint and steel. Okay, so you go ahead and go into the nether, and after you have your soul shard, basically what a soul shard does is the first mob that you kill with it, it will take that mob and make your shard into a shard infused with that mob's soul. And this will be useful later on when we make a spawner. So when you're in the Nether, go ahead and find a zombie pigman. And there aren't any spawning, so I'm just going to come in here in creative mode and spawn a zombie pigman. It's kind of funny that there aren't any around. Normally you'll be able to find some pretty quickly. Okay, so now I've killed one, and see my soul shard has a progress bar at the bottom now, and it says I've killed one zombie pigman. And it dropped a gold nugget here. So you go back out of the Nether, and whatever mod pack you're using, if you're using this or if you're just using vanilla with this one mod, you'll need to add one or two other mods. There's the Twilight World mod, I think that's what it's called, something like that. And this is key, and you'll also need the portal gun mod. And so to make the Twilight Forest, I believe it's called Twilight Forest, yeah, you'll need to put a little pond of water here, and then surround it on all sides with some kind of flower, or I think saplings work too. I haven't actually tried it yet. Like this. And then you'll need one diamond. And you take that diamond and you throw it into the pool. And in a few seconds, if that works, you see the lightning strike and you get a Twilight portal. And now what this portal will do is open up a new dimension, which is a very cool dimension. I'll put a link to a video in the description below of a guy who made a very good video about it. I actually just found out about this mod the other day, and the video pretty much told me everything I need to know in order to navigate and see some really cool stuff in the world. It adds a ton of new blocks and weapons and armor and that kind of stuff. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm building just a small room around this portal, and you'll see why in a second, but basically this will allow you to capture monster spawners that you bring back through the portal. So you just need something that's 3 high with a ceiling. So I normally do 1 more high for the ceiling, but you can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, it's just my preference. Okay, so now we're going to light it up. Got to make sure it's completely lit, because the monster spawner is normally hostile, and you don't want them to go off spawning in here because that creates a mess. So once your room's all lit up, you just jump into the portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my game mode here. We don't actually cheat on the server at all, but for purposes of showing you all this, it'll be fine. And you are actually seeing what I'm doing, so you can't say that, you know, we cheated with our diamonds or whatever. So what you'll need is a portal gun, and then whatever normal supplies. You normally take like caving or that kind of stuff. That's all you really need. And I'm just going to go ahead and, this is our world. It's pretty ugly on the outside because I've been spending most of my time down in there. I'll show you guys around in a little bit. But this is our area to catch the monster spawners. It's pretty basic. This is a pig one that I made. These are here for the soul shards, which I'll explain later. But basically this is a tier 5 soul shard pig spawner, and it spawns pigs. I call it my barbecue machine. It's my own design. It basically will bring the pigs down here, and they will fall through lava and burn to death, and creating cooked meat down here at the bottom. About half of it is cooked and half of it comes out raw, which is still really great, because you don't have to cook your meat or find coal to cook your meat with, which is quite nice. And that's quicksand, which I'll explain later. So we're going to jump right in here. This will take us to the Twilight area. And this is the basic setup that we have here. You don't really need much in terms of a setup. So this is the basic setup we have here. You don't need much in terms of a setup for this zone. It always stays twilight. The time of day never changes, so mobs cannot normally spawn out here. But whenever you bring in a monster spawner, you want to make sure it's lit so that none of the mobs start spawning. I learned that the hard way, and so yeah. So what you need is a portal gun, and you're just going to want to start walking in one direction. Make sure you set wherever you spawn and set one of your portals. I normally do my right click button because I don't press it as often. And then just fly in a direction. And what you're going to want to look for is a house with a monster spawner in it. Now in the video that I'm going to link in the description, it tells you all about that kind of stuff. They're actually quite easy to find if you walk in a straight line. It's a house with a monster spawner that spawns something kind of like a witch, but it's a skeleton with a hoe. And it poisons you as well, just like a witch does. So you got to watch out for them. And I'll show you the method that I use to get these in a second. But I find one every few minutes normally, even in survival mode. I basically want to pull up your map here and look for a like kind of a wooden structure with bright lights. And the other place to find monster spawners is in labyrinths and towers and all those kinds of things. And they're shown in the video. So, okay, here we found a really big tower. I think this is one that I came across earlier. Yeah, so this kind of spawning stuff is just awesome. This is not actually ground. This is tree. So when you come under here, you're actually below a tree line, which is very, very cool, I found. This is awesome. And so you'll probably be at this level. You just break in. I'm going to grab some torches here so you can see. I normally play on max brightness. I don't know why some people play on moody. I don't like it as much. I think it's a lot easier to see. Wow, I've never seen this before. That's pretty cool. This mod just keeps on surprising you. So this is actually an ideal place. This was the first kind of place that I found for spawners. This is completely ideal because there are tons of spawners in this kind of tower. So basically you just want to run up here and kill all these mobs. And when you find your first spawner, you don't want to break it. Just light it up a lot. And then just do what I'm about to show you how to do. So, oh man, I'm going to lose my portal on the other side of the world, but that's okay. You're going to click and set down your portal, and then you're going to run over to this monster spawner, and after you've killed all the mobs, and very quickly press G when looking at it. What that'll do is that'll grab it. And as soon as you've grabbed it, you'll put it down on like a torch or any kind of like flower. It can't be grass. It has to be something that you can break and then replace, like a torch or a flower, something like that. It can't be another block either. And you just then, after you put it down, you'll release it. And what that'll do is it'll turn it into a pig spawner, as shown here. So it's a pig spawner. And you just basically repeat that process a few times. You need 5 of them. So you get 5 spawners. And you can do that with any kind of spawner, whether it's skeleton. Here's, I think, a skeleton spawner. Okay, that's another spider one. There's probably a skeleton later on. So you just grab the spawner by pressing G. You're not doing anything special. You can do this in survival mode. You press G over top of a torch or a flower or anything else again, and it makes a pig spawner. So now I've got 2 of them. And you just repeat that. Okay, here's a skeleton. Show you it works on skeletons. Press G. Hold it over the torch, let go, and there you have a pig spawner. Okay. I haven't actually ever tried it on a lich spawner. This is actually a boss spawner. And if I go up there, it'll spawn a boss, but I don't really want to do that. So you could technically break these blocks below. I tried it once, but then I accidentally didn't let it go on a torch and it spawned the boss. So I'm going to try it here now. And so yeah, that actually worked too. And it gave me an empty lich spawner. That's kind of interesting. So that didn't actually change that one, which is kind of cool. But that doesn't really matter for us because all we need is the pig ones. You can use other kinds, but pig is best because you can turn any kind of spawner into a pig spawner, while if you use like a skeleton spawner or something, you don't always get the same benefits. Okay, so then once you're done, you just go into your portal and return back to home. I love this portal gun. I've never used it before, the Feed the Beast mods, and just using it now is just incredible. So we actually got really lucky. We were exploring and we found one of those energy obsidian totem ruin things, and it actually had a sort of zarite or something, sort of something, Z, Y, sword, Zephyr, Sword of Zephyr, and a portal gun in it, and just crazy cool. So, oops. And had a Sword of Zephyr and a portal gun in it, and it was really, really crazy lucky. I didn't realize at the time how lucky it actually was. So then once you get your monster spawners with your pigs, you'll just set them up outside your world in a gated, grassy area. So you need a shard, a soul shard, and a sword now. And what you'll do is you'll just kill your pig. You'll just kill one pig. Make sure you don't attack anything else while I'm making a mess while you're doing that, because you want to get the pig. So now it's a pig 0 tier, 1 killed. And you'll go to your pig spawners that you set down after killing 24 pigs, and you need 24 of them because that's how many, because to make a tier 5 soul shard you need 1024 kills. And whenever you right click on a monster spawner, you get a total of 200 kills and your monster spawner will disappear, which is really good because then you don't have to run around and kill 1024 pigs, which would be just annoying. It'd be worth it anyway, but it goes a lot faster this way. So I have more than 5 spawners, so I'll just right click on it. I'd recommend getting 5 spawners and then just getting the kills instead of wasting an entire new spawner. So you just right click on it and you see it disappears just like that. And oh, it's not changing for me because I'm not in creative mode, or I'm in survival mode. Okay, let's see, I'm going to grab the ones that I put in here, and I'm going to go into survival mode. Oops, game mode 0. Okay, I'm going to place these back down here. Okay, so when I right click on it, you see my soul shard gets a little bit greater energy, and so now it's at a tier 4 with 811 killed. So now I'm almost at a tier 5, I'm 13 kills away. I'm just going to get the last one like that. When you get 1024 kills, you'll get a tier 5 with 1024 kills, obviously, and the progress bar at the bottom will go away. So now what you'll want to do is you'll get that zombie pigman that you got before from the nether, and the soul shard that you got from killing it. Let's see, zombie pigman, here we go. Soul shard. And you just need another blank one, and kill one zombie pigman. Oops, making a mess. Okay, so now you've got the one killed on zombie pigman and 1024 killed on pig. So now what you're going to want to do is go to an anvil. I like trees, so I make tree houses. And put your zombie pigman first. So it's zombie pigman here. That's really important because it'll determine what the final shard is. And then you need to put your pig shard here. And now what this will give you is it'll give you a zombie pigman tier 5 with 1024 kills, which is really, really helpful because it means you don't have to kill 1024 zombie pigmen. You just have to get the spawners from the monster spawner pigs and then convert it into zombie pigmen using an anvil, and it'll cost 11 levels. So you click on that and bam, there you go. Now you have a tier 5 zombie pigman soul shard. So I'm just going to go into an empty area over here so I can show you how to do this build, because it's pretty simple. So what you'll need for the build is you'll need quicksand, and I'd recommend getting like 100 quicksand. You can find them in small jungle biomes, and it's actually pretty common. I got around 200 for my really big spawner over there in about 10 or so minutes, and the longest part was actually mining it because it was so close packed together. Okay, so get some quicksand, and then you can use any kind of block for the housing. I'm just going to use cobblestone, and build up just a box. I do like 8x8 or 9x9. That way you have an 8x8 inner surface. I'm just doing a random block size though because it doesn't really matter for me in terms of how big it is. Bigger is better, but the monster spawners only have a certain reach. Do a really big one if you're going to have multiple different spawners. I'll show you the inside of my really big spawner after this. It's quite big. I actually just basically took a temple that we'd found and turned it into the spawning base. And the cool thing about that is it also actually will kill wisps, and you can get wisp essence or wispy essence from it as well. And I think this is to date the first wisp farm spawner that has ever been made either. So it's a double first. First automated diamond crafting and first wisp. So you'll want to dig down quite deep, because remember, you're going to cut your height in half. You're going to have half of it above ground, or half of it above the quicksand, and then half below the quicksand. And you'll need this because the monsters will fall through the quicksand. And I'll explain in a second how the monsters are actually killed as soon as I finish digging this. Alright. So even doing this in survival mode, it did not take very long to do this. The longest part that I spent on this was probably actually just making it look nice and getting the redstone to work. I had a ugly looking redstone before, which worked fine, but I wanted it to be neat looking. So what you'll do is you'll put your quicksand in and give 2 blocks of height below the quicksand. Just like this. And the nice thing about tier 5s is they don't need to be lit or unlit to spawn monsters, but I'm just going to light it anyway above, and I'm going to light it below and keep it unlit above. I'm going to seal it off at the top. Okay, so once you have this, we're going to come up here, and you'll need a soul cage, which is made by taking iron grate, or iron fencing, whatever you want to call it, and making a furnace pattern out of it. So it's pretty simple. And then you just take your soul cage and you put it in the center of the room like so. Then you just want to right click with your soul shard, and zombie pigmen will start to spawn. And there are a ton of them, as you can see. And this is just from one spawner. So I'm just going to fill that back up. I don't know if I can with him in there. Let's kill him. Making a mess. I have a sword. Okay. So fill that back up, and now as you see, they're all falling down here, and they're dying. And it's because they're suffocating through the quicksand. And the way I came up with this idea is that I was actually running around and I suffocated in the quicksand because I didn't know what to do and I didn't know how to get out of it. Then I found out that you can just dig around it because it was a 3x3 block, but I originally didn't know how deep it was. And the nice thing about this is the mobs, when you're in it, can't jump. And I encourage you to, play around with it when you get some. Of course, being in a safe area where if you die, you don't mind. But just to kind of, figure out how it actually works, because it's quite cool. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a generic monster spawner design thing here. You put water in each corner, and then you dig around, and it'll all flow into one area. And just like that. So I'm just gonna block this up here. So now you have it flowing right like this, and I'm just gonna dig it out until the water ends. Okay, so now the water will be terminating here. And you see there's a decent amount of materials coming down here. You've got lots of pigmen. This averages, oops, I jumped in there. Got in the quicksand. This averages about 1 bar of gold every minute or so, with just one spawner, which is pretty good. Well, actually, that's not true. It's like I think it's a block of gold every minute. I don't remember the exact calculation, but it's something like that. And you just take these gold nuggets and you turn them into blocks or bars of gold, and then you turn the bars into blocks. So that's the basic idea on how to make the trap. You can do this with any kind of mob. So now I'm going to go back here and show you the one that I have set up and why it's going to be so effective. So this is just my melon farm and pumpkin farm. See, we haven't really cleaned this up yet because I've been working on the inside too much. Okay, break that down because I don't need it. Okay, so see, I just prettied it up a little bit out here. I added dispensers to put the water in here. Oops. Oh, that was close. Because I was doing a lot of testing before and needed a way to quickly get rid of the water. So it's pretty simple here. I'm going to come up here and show you what I have going on. So I've got a lot of these so far. I've just got all the wiring set up for everything, and I'm going to start adding a lot of pigmen. Let me turn off these sheep too, because they're annoying. The most recent one that I added was the sheep, just to get some more blocks for building. Sheep are over here. And I'll show you the wiring for this if you want to build a room like this. I really like the room because you can choose what you want, and it's really great. Well, it's not very good. The wiring broke, so I'll just break it. Okay, so I have the blaze spawner, the pigman, the skeleton, creeper, and enderman all hooked up here. And the nice thing about tier 5s is they're controllable by redstone. No other tier of the soul shards will allow you to do this. Tier 5 is the only one. So you have a wisp here. It's actually about to start suffocating in that. So there it goes down. I'm just going to show you this real quick because it's cool. And you won't be able to see it for a little while because it takes a little while to go through here. But yeah, so I've got it all hooked up to redstone, and I'm going to turn the water back on so you can see. So whenever the pigmen die, oops, that one screwed up. The redstone's a little bit iffy sometimes. It'll push all of this wool, or in this case gold nuggets from the pigmen, over down here to this collection area where I have an obsidian pipe. And so I've got 3 redstone engines pumping on that because you do get a really large quantity of stuff, and so I don't know if it actually makes a difference, but they're there in case they need them. Now I have it going into sorting, so I have only gold nuggets going this way, and then everything else will go this way. So I'm gonna turn on the creeper one and the skeleton one so that you can see how it sorts it. And so you have that stuff going into there, and then I have an automated crafting table with the gold nuggets, and that will automatically turn the gold nuggets that are collected from the obsidian pipe into gold bars. And so then that's channeled over here, up here, and it just spits it out up here into this chest over here far away, which I made nice looking and stuff. And just from a few hours of playing, we have that many gold blocks. We could have automated crafting table the blocks of gold. However, my friend just did it on his own. And they'd actually probably be better off in bar form for this. But so you get your blocks of gold, or bars of gold, or whatever, and we have to actually turn them back into ingots first. And now you're going to need a shard of minium, which is part of the equivalent exchange version 3. I don't think it's in version 2, but there's a philosopher's stone which does the same thing. And you'll take your minium stones, and I've actually already tried to see if you can turn this into diamonds with an automated crafting table, and sadly you can't. So you have to do this part by hand, but you take you put 4 gold with a shard of minium stone, and you turn it into diamonds. And I just got 64 diamonds from this. And this is all just from one pig spawner. And so you can see here now this stuff's flowing in here, so I'm going to show you how breaks off, but you see all of this other stuff goes here, and then it's sorted back there, and I'll show you that in a minute. So we'll turn off the skeleton and turn off the creeper, and we're going to turn the zombie pigman back on. But this is all of that gold in a few hours is just from one pigman spawner. So imagine what would happen if you had like 5 or 6 of these pigman spawners. So that's actually what I'm going to do next. That's the next part of my build here, is to add a lot more pigman spawners. And hopefully increase the amount of gold we get per hour by a significant amount. So let's come back down here, and there's another wisp. We get about 1 wispy essence per minute, which is pretty good. Alright, so now I'm going to show you some of this back here. This is just the sorting. This is all the sorting. I've got this one which divides up the wool and stuff into different things, and then breaks it down even further. Like I do it by mob, so first skeletons and so on, and then arrows and bones, and each of these go to different chests. And these chests are all 100% legitimate. We didn't cheat at all. See, it's spewing it all over the floor because these are actually completely full of stuff. We've only been running this for about a day. We've been logged on for quite a bit though, so maybe logged on for like 10 or 12 hours over the past few days, because we've been making a lot of progress with this. Because after I finished it, came up with the idea, I just wanted to finish it as soon as possible, because it's kind of fun and had never been done before. So you see all the pigmen are just spawning and suffocating, and then stuff goes in here, and then you have it filling up this automated crafting table. See, there's one, and it just went in. So that's basically how we did it. And if anybody has any suggestions or anything, I'd love to hear suggestions on how to improve this. So now I'm going to show you the redstone wiring, and this is probably what took the longest, because there's so many. I wanted to do it this way and make it look nice, and there are just so many redstone routes that you have to take whenever you're doing this, because they can't touch. Because if they touch, then one will go off while the other's going off, or they'll both stay off, or something like that. And you don't want that, because you want to be able to control each individual mob. So what I did here, I'm going to come and see if I can get a better angle, is I just broke it up into 6 different, I guess, sections, and they're all going off into the same kind of area, but broken off, separate from each other. And they'll lead up into this area over here, which is kind of like a command station for all the redstone, and before it's pushed out into, oops, that was part of the sheep spawner, but it's dead now anyway, into this. And the nice thing about it is the redstone will actually stay on top of the quicksand and not fall through, but mobs, see, like here, the mobs will actually still be able to fall through it and not disrupt the redstone at all, which is really cool. I actually have to go find some more quicksand so I can make that second level out of them, so that if they do spawn on it, they'll fall off still. And so here, this is the second portion of it that I did today, and it's a little bit cleaner. I used a little bit more torches and things, and it's just a little bit better spaced out. It's still kind of cluttered, but I wanted to try and squeeze it in as small of an area as possible, and I think dirt is like right above me. Yeah, so I had like 1 or 2 more blocks left of room in terms of height, so I didn't have a lot of space. And so that's basically how we did that. And yeah, so progress updates will probably come maybe once a day, once every 2 days, depending on how time. And I guess I'll probably post a video every time I'm on this working on it, because you know, we want to show that it's legit. But you saw there that I just got that many diamonds, 64 diamonds, just from, you know, a little bit of time, and turn those into diamond blocks here. So that's how we make diamond blocks, and So we'll be able to make a city out of diamond blocks, and I think that'll be really, really cool. And I don't know how we're going to end up doing it. I don't know if I probably want some, like 1 or 2 other materials to go along with it, you know, some kind of half block, because I don't know if the mod pack actually allows you to do, like cut up the blocks. Like, I don't remember what that mod is called, but like you use a saw or something and you chop off parts of the blocks. But it'd be nice to get like half blocks, half slabs of some diamond and maybe something else to accent it, like a nice wood. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'll make another video here soon showing the barbecue machine, because that's pretty fun. But let me know if you have any questions and what you think about the idea.